Welcome to my vlog channel. I know I never post on here, but today I'm going to knock out something that's kind of been weighing on my mind because I was actually speaking with one of my friends about this a few weeks ago. And it's basically about not wanting to identify, even though I know pretty damn well what my sexuality is. I mean, obviously, well, most of you probably don't know this, but I'm not straight. I've never been fully straight, ever. I don't think ever, really. I mean, I've been really aware of my sexuality from a very young age, almost worryingly young, but that's just how I am. I am not strictly dickly, that's just not how I roll. But even though I am totally aware that I like both men and women, I don't identify as bisexual or any of those other things. I just choose to identify as myself. And that's because I don't really like having to put a little label on what I view as myself to be totally normal, because this is the only thing that I've ever known. I mean, like, there are other people out there, yes, they are totally straight, they are totally gay, they are people that fall in all forms of the spectrum, different types of sexuality, but I've, through the years of being an adolescent and going through sex and sexual maturity and all this other stuff, I've just kind of been turned off by having to identify as one thing or the other, because it's honestly caused a lot of problems. I actually remember coming out in middle school saying, "Yay, hi everybody, I'm bisexual, yeah!" And a lot of people really didn't give a shit, which is, the natural reaction that everyone should be like, okay, that's great, now can I go on to eating my burger? There's no change in my perception of you. That's how everyone should react to this kind of stuff. But there were a few people out there that were just like, oh, she's just saying that because she's a slut, she wants to attract men because she can touch women, da-di-da-di-da, oh, she's just saying that because she can't commit to relationships. And, this was going on when I wasn't even a teenager yet, neither were my peers, and I was like, really, you're gonna judge me that much? And I remember very distinctly my very first instance of homophobia after I came out. It was after a after school session for our track team. I was sitting out by the benches waiting for my mom to come and pick me up, and this one guy came up that was on my track team. His name was Connor. He was, a cis white hetero male from a very privileged family. He was very wealthy, and he just kind of straight up went up to me and asked me, "Are you bisexual?" And I said, "Yes," and he's just told me straight face, dead in the eye, "You're going to hell," and he walked off. Was I harming this person? No. Was I impeding on his relationship? No. Was I doing anything that could physically, mentally, or emotionally harm him apart from just existing? No, I wasn't. So because of that, I've kind of just, because of that, his reaction, other people's reactions, just the general idea that people that are bisexual are just confused, or that they just don't want to be in a committed relationship, or that they're, being it because they can be sexually promiscuous at a party. It's just kind of put a bug in my butt, and I don't know, I just choose not to identify. That's just how I roll. This is how I do. If I'm attracted to someone, I'm attracted to someone, and that's kind of the end of the story. And, in addition to all that stuff, there's that kind of resistance I get from even the LGBTQ community for my bisexuality, because most lesbians don't want to date me because I've been with men. I'm bisexual. Ooh, I could cheat on them with a guy, or ooh, I'm just experimenting. And, a lot of guys either see me as, wow, she's kinky, she'll do a threesome, or, wow, I can't trust her because, she's so, radical with her sexuality, she'll go and cheat on me with another guy or another girl. And it's just like, oh my god, having to identify with anything is really putting a huge stake in my dating game. Not that I'm currently in the dating game, because that's a ridiculous notion due to school and work and just personal preferences, but I don't know. Sexuality really sucks, honestly, no matter what angle you look at it from. And I just hate that there's so much resistance from basically anywhere, especially the places where you would expect some support. And I don't know, I don't know. I just wanted to throw this out there because I'm just like, you know what, this sucks. It needs to change. No one really says anything about it. I'm always the odd one out because I don't, stick as a straight person, I don't stick as a gay person. I'm just somewhere in the middle, and I'm ambiguous, and that scares people. Honestly, it shouldn't. When I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm generally pretty solid on them. There have been a few instances, and I'm not going to lie about them, where I have been unfaithful in relationships. But that was because at the time, I was in a relationship with a severely abusive person, and I was just looking to get a way out. And, during my little ambiguous parts in between long-term relationships, because I do have long-term relationships, I've kind of had like that weird, not dating, but seeing people thing where I'll see multiple people at a time, but I'm not committed to any of them. So, I don't know. It's just weird, and it kind of pisses me off because I don't like being judged for my, who I've been with, who I've slept with, who I could potentially sleep with. It just, I don't know. It's so frustrating, and I really, really don't like having to identify or being required to identify both by heterosexual people, homosexual people, people in the LGBTQ community. I don't know. It just pisses me. So basically, I'm Carly, and that's who I am. That's my sexuality. I am myself. I do what I want. I'm not identifying as anything. If you can't deal with that, then that is your problem, and I'm honestly probably better off without you. Alright, well that's it. Yeah, weird rant. Whatever. This little piece of hair has been bothering me all day. Well, anyways, that's a wrap, I guess. Bye-bye!